Again, I'm David Leedy, and I have the privilege of presenting the 2019 Distinguished Service Award to Brian Bell. And I can't think of there are many people who deserve such an award, I'm sure, among the alumni, but Brian has invested decades of his life in this community. He was part of helping to shut down the old King's campus upstate during some very painful, turbulent years when the college had to close. So he was part of that difficult, painful process. Then when King's was being renewed, relaunched in New York City, he signed on to help relaunch King's here, which was also painful and difficult. I was there. It was very painful. It was the Wild West. But Brian signed onto that, helped build the admissions efforts from the ground up, recruited the first generations of King's students to the new King's College, and played a part in helping shape advancement and development, and did a lot in those early years to really get King's off the ground. And even after leaving, moving on to new ventures, Brian continued to stay involved in the Alumni Association very actively. He's been the last few years involved in the Parents Association, the PAC, the Advisory Council, Parents Association of Parents, we call it now, it used to be PAAC, now it's PAC, Parents Advisory Council, thank you. So he's been actively involved as his kids have worked their way through King's. One is now, one daughter, an alum, still has one son here. And so he has invested heart and soul in this community. And so even though I've been here 19 years, in many ways I stand upon Brian's shoulders because of how much he has left his mark in this community. So as I present this award, I also want to give him something else today. We were doing some cleaning this fall of the library, and we discovered this in our archives. And you open it up, and it is Brian's diploma. He claims to be a King's alumnus, but there's no evidence of that. So as we give him the award today, I also want to give him his diploma.
I think that makes me a 2019 alum. I got to check the date on that. So thank you to the King's College Alumni Executive Committee for the honor of being chosen for this award. So my life has intersected with the King's College on 3 separate occasions. First as a student in the late 1980s, then as part of the team that reopened the college in the late 90s and early 2000s, and finally now as a parent of a 2019 alumna and a current student. Each time has shaped me into who I am today in some meaningful way. First, in my time as a student, Dr. Adant, who was one of the most influential mentors in my life, challenged me to step up and make a difference in the college community using the gifts God had given. Later, as part of the college's administration in the Empire State Building days, I worked nearly every day with Stan Oakes, whose vision and sense of purpose challenged me to become a better leader. Now, as a parent and a member of the Parent Advisory Committee, I not only have a small hole in my wallet, I have the opportunity to regularly be challenged by the real mission fulfillment that is happening at our alma mater. I can say unequivocally that I have been shaped and molded by my TKC experiences. What King's is today has a very real impact on my life. Through its vision, I aspire to make a difference in this world for the cause of Christ. I see modeled the kind of winsome difference-making that our nation and world desperately needs, a willingness to engage in the public square, yet serve as the hands and feet of Christ. I am inspired by a college that planted its flag firmly in the center of business, culture, and international government here in New York. In my own life, I aspire to excellence as a leader, in part because I want to live up to the aspirations of the King's College. One of my great joys is connecting with the people who were part of each of my times of intersection with the King's College. I suspect that my social media feeds are populated with more generations of King's alumni than anyone else. From Fred Rowley and Dick Beach, who had graduated before I was born, through my own friends from my time at King's, to this young generation of alumni. It's hard to believe that those of you that are 10 years reunion this year, I remember you when, and and now even my daughter in the class of 2019. I would leave you, my fellow alumni and friends, with the challenge of also living up to the vision of Kings, of aspiring to be a leader who makes a difference for Christ in the area of influence where God has placed you. Thank you.